I'm in Dior. I praise the Lord. I'm in Dior. I praise the Lord. I'll make another one of these. Look at these things that I have here. I actually might make two. These two. Actually, I'll refresh it. I need one. I need to make a song.
Nope.
Actually, no.
I know. I said you can use it for food.
I'm just gonna use this. I don't know why I did all that. Like I wasn't just gonna use it.
That's a fact.
I'm reading it right now. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying, blood?
For sure.
I'm still trying to find out what's probably the best time for me to be streaming. I'll figure it out someday. One day, someday, we'll make it out the hood some way. I need to figure out what to do with channel points. I don't know what to do with them. Maybe I'll just make a poll or something. What should I do with points on the channel variety?
お兄ちゃん、ピースピース。
Who subscribed? 4 months. Yes, sir. My new mod has arrived.
You tell me what you doing to me. 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 You know that my love don't come for free. And you scared, and I'm scared of me. You know that my love don't come for free. My love don't come for free. You tell me what you doing to me. You tell
we
me
can.
what you.
Amazing, brother. Pop off only on occasion, brother. Rich nigga mama know I made it, brother. New floats coming, be patient, brother. How you doing, man?
Oh, good. I abandoned feed this magic to learn divine magic. Want that to be stated.
I'm on the Fiendish Magic wave. Destruction. Maru. I'm
High
on.
key, I probably would have been on that wave too, but
Nah, like
you
I totally understand it. Like that shot going too far, but I totally understand it. But we'll get there in a second. Hold on. What's going on? Pull through to say what's good. You can head out though, cause I'm still in the middle of my reread, not cut up. Kubera greatness. All right, man. Thank you for stopping by, Mikey. I haven't caught all the way up, so I'm dropping to say hello. I watched it one after I do tonight. Hey, yo, what's going on? All right, y'all over here not being caught up. Come on, baby. Let me just check real quick what the last chapter online is before I, and then after Vince, we'll go into full like fast pass stuff. Just give me a sec. I don't remember the last chapter online was. I think it's the Baby Usha's one. Where Indra was snapping. It's Ananta 8. Yeah.
yeah, no,
Ananta
yeah,
8.
okay.
Yeah. Okay, yes. That's the last one. But I did want to talk about kind of the beginning of this stuff too. Okay. And then I'll change the title just so people are aware that it's Fast Packs Talk, quote unquote, and then whatever. But was there anything in specific you wanted to touch on first on the Ananta arc, or you want me to start it off?
Well, I'll just say this from how I'm thinking about it. I thought this was kind of an interesting transition from the Wheel of Time that
Wheel of
we're
Time.
going from. Yeah, how we went from Maruna and his development and them going through that whole arc. I mean, I guess it wasn't impossible since we're basically leaping through time.
Yeah.
But I thought it was an interesting pivot to go here. So I wonder, we won't know till probably like 20 chapters from now, but I wonder why she decided to do this pivot now. So other than that, that's the only place I have to start.
Oh dang. Cause I think with me, I think what shocked me about the transition to this arc is I guess there was a part of me that thought we would immediately just go back to kind of present time, which was like, okay, maybe that was a little naive on my part. Like I thought after like Maruna, Utah, everything happened, Lee's whole oh my god, that shit hurt. And after I thought they'd go right back to like the main timeline. But I'm like, you know what? There is a lot of other things to explore. But I think what actually shocked me is I thought that we'd move away from Ran and Maruna now. You see what I'm saying? I thought Maruna went through enough, but then again, I thought about the fact that we didn't see him go into his 5th stage yet. So
agreed. That's why. Yeah,
I wasn't thinking that far at the time. I was like, okay, main timeline, we're about to be back. I'm like, oh no, we're not. We're somewhere else now. So, but like I said, and the one video I have where I talk about the conjunct flashbacks and the bilateral stories, I like that the characters are not divorced from the history because they are going back in the past and experiencing these things that happen, like the upheaval, cataclysm, the death of Fiendish magic, if you will, and they're literally there. They're here. They're doing it. Like they're actually present. I think it's one of the most interesting ways to explore like past events. The example that I used in the video, just for anyone who hasn't seen it, is basically if you've seen the 3rd Harry Potter movie, The Prisoner of Azkaban, you know how like Harry thinks he sees his dad sending away all the mentors, I think they're called, with like spell patronum. I don't remember the fucking spelled name, right? But really, it's him. When I do the little time travel thing, the person who throws the rock and hits him in the head, blah blah, it's them. So I find that's a really cool way to explore really big events in your narrative. I like that. Craig on gold, bro.
I agree. Yeah, and I remember that example you used about the Harry Potter, and yeah, I think that's a very, very good and cool way to explore something because I would have never thought of doing something like that if I was writing something. So
me neither. I think all up to enemy we saw Maruna exploring in the past, but Ananta now we saw his own path. That is kind of true. Because right now with because you could hop into it too, right? So Aruna was his original name, right?
Or the temporary name he was using. Yeah.
And he like died. That boy's like, by the time vegetarian, whatever. He likes the snowflake apple, and he went to try to find it when things were happening. When they were trying to kind of evacuate the planet, I guess he got struck by lightning and he got smoked. And then I like really like the part where like Ananta just kind of hands him the soul. What the hell? He's like, that's your soul, bro. Like, figure that out. And then that was shocking to me, because when they kind of started talking about the fact that they wanted to like, develop him a certain way because of his like transcendental and how powerful it was, it's like he got nerfed. Like he's like nerf low key. You know what I'm saying? Like Maruna's potential kind of I think he'll regain it to some degree at some point, but it's kind of like he can't achieve the same level of whatever he was going to be naturally. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, same. But I guess we've seen that, throughout the stories, different examples of different Naskas and Rashkas being nerfed here, because like you can argue some of the same. It's kind of like not quite the same, but it kind of reminds me of the stuff with my boy Chess. It was like he couldn't remember what happened to him, so he couldn't progress because it was just like it was repressed the entire time.
Yeah.
What trauma he went through, and now he's older than almost some of the Noshkas, and he can't progress. And so Maruna is kind of interesting that it's kind of a similar bull, but everybody has their reason, especially if we're seeing the Rashka stuff like that, the Sura specifically, why they are here. They all play an important role, so it's just another one.
His kindness to others was nerfed. I do think it's an interesting correlation to say that he might have given up like being a quote unquote vegetarian or eating like fruits and whatnot because like that literally killed him. Like that made sense to me. Like, all right, we carnivores now, so that was cool. I actually like. Were you initially surprised when you saw him come to I guess not an island, but a planet where some of the Garudas were, and after you saw like the younger version of himself, like that shocked the F out of me at first. I'm like, oh, we're doing this? Like that was like she's so good, bro. Like I guess like at the time when I was reading the first couple of chapters, I'm like, oh, I did not see this coming, and exploring that is really cool. I really like Ushas and Ratri. I like them. I think they're
yeah. See, I was just finna comment on that. See, I always find this story is so insane from the standpoint of like relationships. Because from one moment, the gods want the Suras out of here or weaker. And then now we're going back in here, and now you're seeing two gods interfere with a Sura and like training him and basically kind of taking care of him, quote unquote. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, yeah, Usha's, her design is insane.
She's beautiful.
Yeah, that shit don't make no sense.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
And I think she's even unique, kind of compared to most of the gods we see. But then again, we haven't really seen a whole lot of female gods in depth. She's kind of like in first that we're getting, other than Brahma herself. Mm-hmm. But other than that, yeah, we don't get them.
I was gonna say, I want to say Varuna or for Jesus Christ, the water one. I think might be a woman. Someone in the chat, someone in the chat will help me, but obviously there's Cali and stuff. But like someone in the chat will tell me. But
yeah, but like well, two of them are Prometheal gods, and Verona we haven't touched on quite to this extent yet. So it's just kind of okay. Verona is female. Okay, that's okay. Yeah.
Most and then Rotary, now, I agree. Cali, shout out to Cali, my chaos merchant. I love her.
Yeah. And then Rotary got a Knight. I was kind of surprised by that. Both of their titles are kind of surprised because like I know there's a bunch of different gods for everything, but it's just kind of like, initially I wouldn't have thought about those specific. I'm like, well, what does that mean? Goddess of Dawn and God of Night. What does that mean specifically?
Yeah,
because like Agni, he got to do with like hell
and fire,
and like and fire, and then it's just like Yama. He has to do stuff with the souls and dead names, and even Chandra. Like, a lot of people we deal with on a basis, kind of like more like not. I don't want to say typical, but more like stuff that we probably like. Oh, that makes a lot more sense. Like you look at Goddess of Dawn and God of Night, and you're like, like yo, what does that mean? Like, what do we have control over? What powers?
I think like their titles. We'll jump into the two because how Indra later on, blah blah. But like, I think the titles of them are interesting because it's like, to me, if like there was one planet with humans, like Earth or whatever, that'd make more sense. You'd basically be like Apollo, like the goddess of the sun, and then you'd be like the night. But there's like a bunch of planets across the universe with a bunch of humans and Suras and blah blah all over. So it's like, what does Dawn really mean in the context and the grand scope of all of the fucking universe? Because there's multiple stars. And all the stars would act like the sun or dawn. You feel what I'm saying? And then there's planets with multiple moons. So like I feel on that because when I first saw the title, I was kind of like, I don't know what to do with that, but I ended up really liking him. I didn't even realize Ratri was a girl until she was helping out Maruna and took like the mask down a little bit, and I'm like, I saw some cleavage. Oh shit, she bad too. What's up? So
Yeah, because I definitely didn't know. I'm
I
like,
thought
you
it was
wearing
I
that,
thought it was a
you
dude.
hood it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hood it up like a ranger
Mhm.
or like a thief or something. Like, yeah,
Yeah. So
it's kind of cool that both of them are women though.
yeah, I
Makes
like
sense
that.
though.
I like that. And they both seem to be like pretty level headed. Like Rat Reed, I think is more in line with how most gods are, but like could kind of listen to reason or like, okay, obviously you care about this. Let me just handle it. But Usha's just like really kind, like willing to give up what she gave up for the life of Maruna, changing his name and everything. Like that's really dope. Like I took a quick liking to her, the same way like I took a really quick like a liking to Yaksha. Like I would say I like those two just as
Bro,
quickly as I.
every architect like this in this story, I automatically love them. Erivata,
Mhm.
Usha's, who's the one that Yuta was with too.
Well, Tara.
Uh,
Oh no, I mean God. When the gods he was with. Shoot.
no, the Sura that he was with.
Well,
I
Hanuman.
forget her name. I love her. Hold on, because she was like his mom. That's not his mom.
Hanuman.
Nah,
Grandpa.
nah.
Grandma. Cruel universe. Oh Shuri.
Shuri. Yeah, Shuri.
I'm slow.
Okay, no, that's all good. It had to come to my brain because I'm just like, nah. But yeah, Shuri. Like all the archetype, all three of them are kind of like not quite the same, but in a similar mode. They just like they're kind of like a mom.
Hmm.
And I love that. They're great. All of them. I can't. They are all sweet. So can't help
Yeah.
but love them.
No, I feel that. But yeah, but they're really dope. Like I really like them immediately. Do you just out of curiosity, do you personally have any like theories or headcanon on how you think Maruna's gonna develop? Because we know he needs eye parachment, but do you think you understand what his like criteria or whatever he needs to do to get to his fifth stage? Do you think you have an idea or no?
I I I I don't have anything concrete, but I
Okay.
always thought it was interesting that it's like it had something because when I thought he would develop, it didn't happen then. So I was just like, okay, now I'm really lost because when he started to care about the humans,
That's you like
it
me, like right at the time. You
yeah
thought, yeah,
y-
for sure. Yeah.
yeah, because it was just like he was clearly sad and didn't know what to do, and I'm like, if he don't develop from this, then what's really gonna set it off? Because he's still kind of like denying the feelings a little bit of what he had.
I'd also argue that Kubera, the god of Earth, kind of calls him out too, where it's like you did, you kind of did the bare minimum if you really think about it. Like Sears was still coming and killing them, but like you kind of like help here and there, but like you didn't fully engage, and he kind of called them out for still being very cautious no matter what the situation is, all trying to think around whatever. So I guess though he's mature, remember Kubera said he matured, and now you can even argue against me like this. Like I think there's probably like one last step and push he needs to fully embrace like humanity or whatever, and maybe part of it has to do with maybe he has to come full circle with the past and understand how much hurt he really did cause by killing so many humans and like a person like Lee's whose village was destroyed by him. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Maybe that's the moment, the trigger right there. I think it would have something to do with Raltara. Ooh,
See, I was gonna get to that next. It had oh, cause
go
I
ahead, go
that
ahead.
I had to me that's kind of like her only reason of existing. Not to sound bad
Mhm.
towards her, but it's just like nobody remembers her. Like she's obviously like this floating item that shouldn't exist, kind of,
Yeah,
but she does right now because he went back and changed it. Basically, like that's the if anything, that's the biggest thing they changed. But it's weird because like they changed with her still existing, but like nobody else kind of knows she exists unless they like specifically paying attention to her.
hmm.
So
So
yeah, to me it has something to do with her at the end of the day.
do you think maybe like I have a, like I've always had an inkling that like she's not coming back to the present time for whatever reason. So like she's
Yeah,
not gonna make it here. If I'm wrong, cool. But maybe it has
maybe
some,
she'll.
maybe it has to do with, like part of me thinks like is it something to do with like him having to take a proper leadership role as a Garuda or like as Garuda's son or something like that. And I don't know. But I do think it could be connected to Raltar for sure.
Right. I hope she gets kind of the Arivata treatment where she basically gets like a reincarnation.
Mm,
That's my best hope for her because I genuinely I don't have no problem with her. I do like her, love her, but I do like her. She has a dope design. She seems to be pretty level headed and kind of like Maruna, kind of like early Maruna. She wasn't really doing things because she was just like, oh, I just hate humans and stuff like that. And she was kind of like, hey,
Orders
you
are
know,
orders. It is what
yeah,
it
right.
is.
She's like, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna tell them no. Like, come on, bro. Like, be real.
And
Like, I can't do nothing but what they tell me to do.
and ultimately, I still find that Kurigama is very good at showcasing the different ideologies and styles of life based off the different the races. And like that's like a video and topic. I mean, you can do it another time that I really want to dive into. But just in general, where it's like, you know how we sometimes I talk to you about how I think that the immortals or like the people who've lived really long in a lot of these series don't be moving us because of the way they be like super emotional and this and that and blah blah. We're like, bro, you live like 10, 100,000 years. At some point, you're above certain shit. You've seen all kinds of people pass away, die, blah blah yada yada. So I like the perspective of time because Suras live so much longer and stuff. Their lifespans are so much longer, and gods even more so. Because and they're kind of immortal as long as you don't destroy their jurisdiction, right? It's like the way that they perceive and just look at life in general is vastly different from someone who like me, who's a pure blood who will probably die by 80. And I like that. I think she shows that difference in thinking really well throughout the story. So like I could imagine if I was a Sura, I could imagine me like I actually don't have any smoke with humans, but I don't particularly care if they live or die. Like there's so many of them. They only live for like 50 years apiece. You feel what I'm saying? Like I get it. It never bothers me when they're kind of like that. Now, when you're like Gon Havra, now I think you're a fucking dickhead. You piece of shit. I don't like you. But other than that, I'm like, yeah, I totally get it. So, but that's what I like about Suros. I think that the way they look at humanity and gods and stuff is interesting. Because like Suros to me, I would say like, would you argue they're the middle piece? Like
Yeah.
we're bottom. Always humanity
Right.
with the bottom. Then Suras. And I guess like nature gods / fish and gods and primeval, like like that's like the hierarchy, so to speak.
I always thought the role of Suras is very interesting in this story because we're used to stories with gods and humans and
Yes.
maybe like monsters, but the monsters don't play this big of a fact. And also the fact that Suras have the capabilities and some of them were stronger than God.
Mhm.
That's not something that normally happens. That is such an interesting dynamic because like yeah, they are clearly above humans. That's without question.
Yes.
But one thing that's always not bothered me, but I always been curious about, is just that they made Suras in kind of a animalistic kind of like dog eat dog world. Power thing is most important. Top of the food chain, but they still collect sins and stuff like that. Like the weight of things still add on their soul.
Mhm.
I'm just like, ooh, that is such a curious being to make. That's like it's like real world and like a ate a human or attacked a human, and that was just like, you know what? That's gonna add on the lion's weight of his sins. Like, what? Like a lion got sins? Like, are you curious? Like, are you serious?
I felt that. No, they really are this really weird like species, creatures, whatever you want to call them, or, beings in this universe. Because like God's making humans and stuff like that makes sense, but then you got this like in between tweener, and then you hear shit like Anata's the strongest. Like right, like what? Like it's so weird. So I like that. Like with a lot of these backstories, we've been diving into a lot of them because Yaksha himself was mad strong too. Remember when he yeeted that nigga just across the planet? He just yeeted him like
Yeah,
that
ridiculous.
was crazy. Nah, yeah. Soros and ancient humans are my favorite two like races in this narrative. I would
No,
still go with
that's-
ancient humans. I love them. I don't know. I'm rock with them. I'm an ancient human, bro. I've been reincarnated like 800 times. You know what I'm saying? In my past life, I was a bad. I'm joking, but yeah.
I think my favorite is probably the primeval gods, if we consider them their own race.
Okay, yeah. I
Because
I do kind of consider the gods like all in one thing, but I do think there's a hierarchy. So I kind of go like whatever the fourth, anyone who's not enlightened, nature gods, and then fifth Zen, then probably.
the reason I find them so
Sorry,
interesting.
like
Oh,
Indra
go
and
ahead.
Varuna and those guys are probably like right under the primevals and shit.
Right. Yeah, facts. But the reason I considered them slightly different, somewhat, It's because like there are moments of when the gods like like when they're all messing with Agni and he's just like, oh, you might kill us, we're all gonna go to hell, and they like laughing and shit like that, like they're like insane.
Mhm.
Well, like the primordial gods seem to like just fundamentally work differently, even though they've always existed and they've created everything. But it's just like I find it weird that like one, like I said, the primordial gods are beefing with one another. Like it's already like it's already
Kali
a
and Vishnu.
crazy, it's already a crazy concept. And then two of them just decided they were gonna leave. Like see y'all, like we good. And then they have Brahma by herself, and then like Brahma doing what Brahma's doing, and like Brahma doesn't like for her being her, she doesn't like really like run around commanding her creations. And she also doesn't have like that childlike wonder I thought somebody who would be a god of creation would normally have. Because normally, if you see a god of creation, or even in some instances, a god of destruction, they would be like really like her appearance is kind of that of a child, but like her demeanor is not like at all.
Yeah.
Her demeanor is very CEO-ish, as we kind of talked about in the last video that we watched. So it's like,
Prometheus have a very different view than any of the races. You can't understand their actions, but to them it's justified. Yeah, they move in like mysterious ways, and like we said with Brahma, like I think your point's well taken too. Because when I think about a lot of like gods that create and destroy stuff like that too, especially if they're kind of on the top of the totem pole, they have a very condescending like attitude to a certain degree too, which comes across out as as childish. Like,
yeah,
this is a really lazy example because I really don't want to go and start explaining like comic book gods right now. I'm not in the mood, but like Beerus, you know what I'm saying? Like something like that.
yeah.
Like,
See, that's what I'm saying. It's very whimsical. They do things very on a whim.
yeah,
They
like
create
like whatever. Because no one can really mess with like okay, oh you made me vanilla. Like okay, I won't destroy your planet. Like they're very like that. But like these guys are like no, like I have a job to do whatever. And even Brahma, like you said, her look, you would think oh I'm blowing bubblegum whatever, and it's just like damn, like this shit is defective. Reset. Like like. They don't move that way. They all move very differently too. So
yeah, right. Because like this dude is definitely the most mysterious in the way he moving. Because like we don't like we know everything quote unquote is for the best possible outcome, and but sometimes when you're watching them do things, you're looking at them like, is this for the best possible outcome? Is it on? Like, is it honestly?
yeah.
Or how many different ways can we take to get to the best possible outcome? Like that is something I constantly think about. What and at the end of the day, what is that? Is this gonna be a story where everything that happened, all the different things that were sacrificed, all the different pieces, will they all be revived and renewed, and everything will be good at the end of the day? Yeah. Or just the best possible outcome is just that, like, for a group of people that are not currently in existence, should I say, kind of like, is the best possible outcome like not gonna end with everybody being destroyed, or like, because like I feel like in some ways you can argue that even the best possible outcome could still involve with like the next generation of humans or Swords or whatever new race or whatever happened after, not even gonna know what happened. They ain't not even gonna know the history. Yeah. Like we could all be doing this for a group of people that we don't even know what's gonna come afterwards. Like because like when I think about like Lee's, how they always kind of alluding to Lee's last moment.
Yeah,
it always feels like they're alluding to like Lee's is gonna save the world and nobody's gonna know. Like,
yeah,
she's gonna do all that, and she's going to die alone without anybody even knowing necessarily what she did for them.
Like her life is literally existence is suffering for her, and then when it's said and done, yeah, it just hurts because like I definitely get that instance. I think Vishnu is a good guy, but also removed because he's a time traveler. Poor Lee's, yeah. I am actually not entirely convinced, but then again, like okay. Understand that my sense of morality and ethics is not like most people. So, like, if a god blows up a planet with 1 billion people because of for a good reason, I'm okay with it. That's justifiable to me. Like you could justify things to me. So good and evil with me is kind of thing. But I'm not particularly convinced with Vishnu for some reason. I have a very weird instinctive feeling that like Callie's not as bad as we think she is. I don't know why, but I'm okay if she is just chaos for chaos sake. I'm totally fine with that. But for some reason, I don't think Callie's a good person, but I just think that like at the end of the day, I still think no matter what universe you're in and whatever, you still need creation and destruction. You need chaos and order. Like think the DC comics, the Lords of Order, like Doctor Fate, Naboo, and then you have the Lords of Chaos, right? You need that balance. Because the grand design needs a give and take, a push and pull. Without life, there is not death. Without death, there isn't life. So, I still like the idea of like there being always being like a bad god. So, I'm okay if that's Kelly. That makes sense.
Right. Right. But honestly, at this point, though, in the story, I'm more interested as far as relationship wise because they're always telling me this new and Callie are the ones super at odds.
Yeah,
But
they're like
more,
butting heads always.
Yeah, but I'm more interested in the relationship in particular of Brahma to those two.
Okay.
Because when you think about why Brahma even did what she did, part of the reason was she was just like she kind of felt like, oh, the ancient humans sided with Callie or they let Callie dictate their fate. And she was not fucking with that.
Uh-huh.
She was like, hey, yeah, like nah. Like the fact that y'all did that, like I hate y'all. So like y'all gone. I'm done with you.
Mm-hmm.
So like yeah, I'm just like she quote unquote helped Vishnu and stuff like that, but they also like it kind of feels like play because they also said like she kind of gave up on y'all, gave up on this universe, or she only doing certain things because maybe like just because it interests her or something like that. But for the most part, she's given up on this universe or the best possible future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let me. Oh, just out of curiosity, did Ananta 12 drop?
Now you asking me questions.
I think the last one I live reacted to was 11 because I usually record them on Wednesdays, so I didn't record one yesterday. But
nah, 11. It still says 11.
Okay, I was just saying because I might have been one behind because I don't know if Manga Dex or Kubari.moe or whatever gets it first. But I'm actually just gonna switch the title real quick just to add the fast pass stuff because I don't want to hold back right now. I was gonna just I think I put plus more and put plus fast pass. There we go. Exclamation mark. Done. Hit that refresh. Okay. But what was I gonna say? Damn it. What did you just say to me?
What did I just say?
Yeah.
Oh no, I was just talking about Brahma and
okay.
In her relationship.
Okay, no, I remember because I'm gonna ask. Because I actually I hope I'm remembering this correctly. And I'm sure the chat always corrects me when I'm like not on the rails. But when we were exploring other universes and we saw other versions of characters and blah blah yada yada, but do the primordial gods only exist like once, or do they also exist in all the varying possibilities and timelines? Like, or is there like one version of them? I'm trying to remember because a lot of times when you have like the superior, ultimate, like upper level gods, they tend to transcend time and space and stuff. So they could literally just witness the entire multiverse or go into any timeline, yada yada yada. But I can't remember if there's like a Brahma for every possibility, if there are Vishnu for every possibility, or is there just one Vishnu in general? I'm trying to remember that. I know for like the other gods, I'm pretty sure it's not like that. And other
right. I think somebody in the comments should probably know somebody who studies a lot more. But I'm thinking of like the example of like the Astra example. Technically, that version of Vishnu was not the actual Vishnu. He was already gone. He just like had some version of himself go and talk to her. Like he either left a version or a version jumped in time, but it was still him. Mm-hmm. Like or something to that effect. He did something that was very like unique that only he could do. Mm-hmm. So but yeah, it was like I think there might be like only like I want to say there's only like one version of them, but
they kind of remind me of kind of like it may not be totally true, but they could be similar to like what if there's not one version, it kind of could be similar to like what Ananta does or what we see Ananta kind of do in these chapters.
Okay.
Is that he's still kind of like aware of everything that is happening.
Okay.
They have the ability to kind of be everywhere at once.
Okay.
Because they're that strong.
I think there's one version, but they're able to be everywhere. Okay. Okay. But is that? So like they could like simultaneously exist in all. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, that makes more sense. All right, that's actually probably more. I was just trying to wonder. I was trying to remember like, cause the Kubera of the timeline that was talking with Maruna when Yuta disappeared, is that version gone or like? So I was trying to. All right, cool. Okay, now that we're like fully here and everything. So we met an Enon Raimia, which I believe is a descendant of Thingy, right? Someone has that last name. Is that Rana's last name? Or was it someone had that last name? But
who's the last name?
It's Ray, like Raimia, like Reimia.
Yes, Rana,
Rana,
yeah,
right? Okay, yeah, Rana, right? So this is the first person I think that we know that has the I think the Golden Knight, if I remember correctly, which is very interesting to me. I actually like him so far. I think he's been a pretty interesting character. Like he seems to be very confident in his abilities. Like he's talking to Maruna, knowing Maruna because possibly like a superior Sura, and he's like cool with it. Like he's not particularly stressed out. And diving into the stuff with him, the Knights and the King of Humanity, Daksha, the 16th. I thought all of that was really interesting coming full circle because like he joined this tournament with the other girl who like did her invisible spell and went away. And Maruna was like, you're not sneaky, bitch. I'm right. I'm right here. She didn't even notice I'm right behind you. You not solid snake. She invisible. She on her. She going whatever. Maruna's literally just walking behind her. She undo the spell. She like, I'm free. Maruna's like right. Maruna's like, is this bitch serious? I was crying. I don't know what I'm talking. I thought that's so funny, but anyways, what do you think of Ananta so far? Purple hair dude.
I don't know. I don't have any strong feelings yet. I probably have to go through.
He was bodying. He's bodying niggas. I was like, I like fuck with his demeanor. And I remember like they said that his divine affinity is super low because his Phoenix affinity is high. But then there's something happened when it was actually reversed, and Merlin's like, wait a minute, didn't you just say? Wasn't that's kind of wrong? But I like learning about Phoenix magic. That was really cool. Like when he was trying to explain the various spells, and Marina's like, I hate magicians. I can't explain anything. Like in a matter of fact way.
I felt him when he said that. No, I was just gonna say I felt it when he said that because I hate niggas who talk in riddles and shit like. No.
Yeah, and on Raw, yeah, I like him. He's moving me. I won't hold you. He's moving me. I think he's interesting. And knowing that he's an ancestor. I think I said descendant first. Did I say he's a descendant of Rana? I meant to say Rana's a descendant of him. My fault. But there's a high possibility that he's using Phoenix magic in the guise of the Golden Knight. Oh. Okay. Because I found that to be pretty cool. And we could talk about this now. Like, how do you how do you think about Phoenix magic being like a contract connected to a Sura who could at any moment be like, fuck you, or just come down and do what they're doing? Like, I'm with you in the sense that like I don't mess with Daksha and what he did and stuff, but like I would probably not mess with Phoenix magic. I don't know if I would try to abolish it completely and just only use Divine, but I would at least try to stymie it, mitigate
Right.
Like cut that out.
I mean, like I understand why you would turn away from Phoenix because like the whole relationship between it, man, she is so good at making all this shit so complex. Because good lord, why would I even want magic with the Sura? First of all, they don't like us. Yeah. They don't think nothing good about us. I would from my perception, there would be no positive of getting magic from a Sura after what they did. Like bro, I can't win with y'all. Like if I use the magic, it's probably to your benefit or it's gonna benefit you in the long run. Mm-hmm. I don't use your magic no more. Now you have an excuse to destroy us or be mad at us. It's like, bro, I can't win with y'all. So no, I don't want any of it. I don't even want to start this road.
Turn it off.
Yeah.
Hold on. So wait, there's high possibilities using Phoenix magic in a guide to the Golden Knight. The Golden Knight translates likely Phoenix magic to Divine One, so Lee's must be good there too. Using Earth attribute for the Nana to imitate the Golden Knight's Earth magic. Sorry, Affinity translates on Phoenix Affinity to the Divine One. I probably didn't notice that then, because even in my live action, I mentioned nothing about him probably turning Phoenix magic into Divine magic through the Golden Knight and kind of using Ananta's Earth attribute, because he's Earth, right? He's triple Earth too, right?
Everybody.
Or fake triple Earth. I can't even remember. Yeah. I know Lee's is. She's Kubera based on how she's born, because how you're born there dictates whatever. But with Sura magic and stuff, it's completely different, right? It's not necessarily based on how you're born and what times you're born and stuff. Because wasn't Asha's all different?
Yeah, hers is way different. Like, it don't make no sense.
Yeah, hers is like completely different and stuff. But that stuff is really cool. Like I was enjoying, like, Smyrna's like, I'll be fine in the tournament. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, I'll work these niggas. And then he saw some magic. He's like, wait, okay, you want to just explain to me Phoenix magic real quick? He got his book out and he's like, I don't know. These niggas might fold. And then after Curry got to the comment at the end was like, Marina was happy that the tournament was abolished and canceled. What do you think about the like extreme like the blatant, like, obviously we know how halves and whatnot are treated here, but like to separate the two tournaments the way that they do, so like, you know, division, segregation or whatever, and then to just be like, you know what, F it. Even if you're just a quarter, only pure blood magicians, get the halves and quarters out of here, whatnot. Because what I thought was interesting about this was that it was still like, no, you guys are allowed to be around, you can be in the vicinity or whatever, but understand that you are going to be treated as a lesser citizen. And like, to me, it's like, why would I stay here? Why would I be involved? I kind of found that interesting, because I didn't think he would cancel the tournament that way, but apparently Daxia had some like vision or whatever. What are your general thoughts on the King of Humanity? Piece of shit, bozo, goofy.
A little bit, but I'm gonna give him some time though. Give him some time. But yeah, right now I'm not rocking with this, man. You do better.
Yeah, because him like, well, apparently they chose death instead of abandoning Phoenix magic, because they were actually truly afraid of what the servers would do if they tried to cancel it, and kind of speaks about it. But what do you think about the whole sins talk that like they're trying to like have with him? Because that girl who was on her fake solid snake gimmick, like sneaking around with her invisibility cloak spell, she's talking about after death, because humans are all equal in one thing: when they die, the punishment comes after the fact. Does she know more than she's letting on for some reason?
Yeah, I think she does. Definitely would not.
Chat, what's her name?
There's no reason.
Do we know her name? Sorry, because I'm just calling her the solid snake bitch. I don't know her name.
I didn't realize that. Yeah.
Help me. I don't remember her name. Help me.
Oh, somebody, please. I don't know either, because I'm looking back through the chapters right now, just because I have to go look now again. Because now I'm like, man, we don't know these people's names. This is what happens when you read on a week by week basis.
Yeah, but I'm also bad with names. He got visions or oracle from Indra, so he done goofed up. No, I don't think we do. Okay, so we
okay. Yeah,
because I think that she probably has a high level of intrigue and interest in the same degree that Anan has. I think she could be more important. I know part of her family is part of the Knights and everything too, so we'll see what happens with that. But the research has been really, really interesting. I think this arc is gonna shape up to be really cool when I think Ananta properly gets involved. He's likely Indra's tool, but he did goof up. Okay, that makes sense, because Indra snapping when he's the dawn of my sky is gone. Did him going crazy? Did that shock you?
Yeah, because he normally so. I mean, they did say though, they kind of gave us the warning way back when, that like he's scary, man. That's not a guy that you want on your tail or anything like that. So like we kind of already knew that he was kind of like fickle, I guess. That's the best way for me to describe it. Because it was just like, Kubera then was like, hey bro, like, listen, that guy, he will hawk you down forever. Like if that's what he wants to do. So like, yeah, he's scary to me.
Yeah, because he's probably one of the ones like that we describe as like the general gods you see, like you said, like whimsical, on a whim, kind of do what you want. He's the king of them. So that one panel of them all looking at him like, bro, are you dead ass? Like would I do that? And they're like, nigga, yes, you absolutely would. You complete. And I don't know. I love that. I love this picture. Like, because like I told you, it reminded me of the meme with the white girls with the cup, just looking back. I'll put it on screen for a quick second. But yeah, this one. I love this picture. This picture makes me laugh. Every time I look at it, I laugh. I get a kick out of it. Just like, what is going on? Did you notice when she used the San Yoga Kinara magic, her form looked like OG Kinara? I absolutely did not. I'll be completely transparent. I did not notice. I'm gonna go back and give it a reread again, anyways, because I tend to reread these arcs once they're done. When the other side of the story completed, I reread it in one sitting, and the weight of time. So I'm gonna do that.
Slightly off topic from what you said, that I feel like Curry Gum has really gotten better at these. Because I'm going back and looking through this arc, she's gotten a lot better at, like, she was always good at expressions,
Mm-hmm.
but I think she's taken that to like the next level of just like adding tension to like certain people, like when Ananta sneaks up on present day Maruna.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
behind them scary hours. Like,
yeah. I'm just like, he like, bro, yeah, can you move? Yeah, terrifying.
I think Indra was more mad he was left out and lied to more than being mad about Usha. Oh, that makes sense actually, based on what he was
Yeah,
saying it to. Yeah, it was true.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
He's the one that's kind of
He
like childish
yeah,
in nature.
he petty. He's a child.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's like
yeah.
for sure. He embodies that a lot. I also kind of find it interesting a lot of the times with these, like, because I'm sure you know that this is a lot. This is related to like a certain type of mythology, right? But like in a lot of mythologies, why is a lot of the king of the gods in a lot of ways? Oh, what's the lightning one or thunder one, like a Odin and Zeus and stuff? I always find that interesting. Sometimes I'm not.
I
thinking
think
about it.
because it's the sky, and the sky's domain is like everything,
'Cause- okay.
everything like above the heavens and stuff like that.
Are you sure? Because like the sun, like in space, bro. Like, but I feel that.
But the sun is like a
I know.
very
It's like
specific,
It's a part of the
it's a very
sky.
specific.
the
Yeah,
moon,
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
got
yeah, yeah.
it,
It's a very specific one track thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, and the sky is like everything above is my domain. Everything.
Okay.
So I'm guessing that's
Because even now I'm thinking about it, even in Katekyo Hitman Reborn, like the most rare flame is the flame of the sky, and that's usually associated with the boss of whatever group. Your Zanzis, your Suna, your Dino, your Byakuran. That's just interesting. I might look that up and see if there's actually a deeper meaning behind that. I'm gonna write this down. Thunder, mythology, gods. I'm gonna look that up. See that? Because one thing I want to do too is I want to study, like, not study, but you know how, like, for folklore and mythology and stuff, we probably have like a really good understanding of, like, I would say probably Greek mythology a lot. Like that's the one we really understand. I'm pretty good with Norse and things like that. But I wanna start studying some other ones that I'm not really good at, because this has so many things from like Hindu culture and whatnot. And I think that if I could up my understanding of the mythology behind, like, because even Yaksha, like, he's a god from like Hinduism and shit like that. Like, I wanna up my knowledge on it so I can speak on them properly and see how she's played with certain like gods and whatnot. Because like you might like read something and it's like this character is obviously kind of based off of Zeus, or a play on Zeus because his lightning ability, blah blah. So I want to know. That's the part of this that goes above my head a lot of the times. The same way, like in JoJo, I don't get most of the musical references, but I want to be able to understand this on the deepest level that I can. So I'm gonna start looking into it. I want to know if there's like a book or something I could pick up, or I might just have to go online and just start reading the individual gods and what they're about, what their domain is, what they like people pray to them for, and things like that. So Indra is the king of God in Hindu mythos too. He is also petty at times and jealous of Shiva, who's a god of gods. Okay, see, I need to up my knowledge on that because I'm pretty much Norse, Greece, a little bit Japanese, and then I don't know nothing. When it
Yep,
comes,
that's how it be.
that's about
That's
me,
how
right?
it be.
I will say I'm getting a little bit better with some of the Chinese like mythology and folklore as a result of some of the
There's
Dharma.
this huge, yeah, but there's this huge though. I think they got the biggest.
Yeah,
I want to say.
cause like legend deification and like there's like there's like Neja and all stuff like Neja's is starting to become a character that I could recognize just based off the design because there's certain characteristics like the hair and the little like flame wheel and the spear and stuff. Like I'm starting to be able to see certain characters and be like, that's Ao Bing, that's Neja. Like I'm starting to get a little better, but my Chinese mythology is coming up. But I want to definitely dive into the Hinduism a bit more. So Area Vata is Indra's ride, an elephant. Interesting. I heard in Hindu lore is big. Yeah, I'm not. I don't plan to become an expert in like a day. It might take me an entire year of studying, but I want to supplement my my analysis with that too, because I want to see how Kurt Gaunt's played with it, because I know she knows what she's doing with it. So that was a quick tangent. I just wanted to bring that up real quick. This arc actually starts off with Rana and Chroma. And Rana is about to be like destroyed by like venerable time and whatnot, and Ran and Raltara are like outside the cave and whatnot.
Yeah.
That was interesting. Do you have any thoughts on like Chroma and stuff? Because Chroma's like one of the only dragon halflings that we've seen and stuff. So anytime
I really like that. That was one of my favorite parts of this arc so far.
Mhm.
Just him, just existing, his talk with Time.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, Time was kind of making me laugh, even though he wasn't trying to. But he was like, "So y'all tricked me by putting people here." I was just like, "Oh, bro, you don't know what's going on. He just destroyed things in front of him. You don't know what's going on."
Yeah.
But
Aryavata is Indra's riding elephant. I rhymed that Aryavata was riding on him an enemy. You see, like that's probably something that I would like if I had a deeper understanding, I would have put that together. Because that could always.
I knew
tell.
Aryavata was an elephant. I knew that. Which is why I always thought it was interesting. But the Canary don't have like elephant forms, or not really. Like Chess is like a Pegasus looking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I always thought that was it. But yeah, I don't know much about Indian mythology. That was not my strong suit.
Yeah.
I was definitely a Greek and Norse guy.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna study up on some of that Hindu lore and everything, because I'm gonna be nice one day. I promise. So, do you think that there is gonna be something that happens here in the past with Rana, and even though Rana may not remember it later on, is low key the catalyst for why she likes Ran so much?
Yes, I already think part of it already happened.
Okay.
Him protecting her, because I said the way I've learned the way that she's connected everything in this story, because she says she like basically the kind of way she said it, she kind of liked him before he even liked her, baby, or basically the same time. But like she's always like, I've always been paying attention to you, and I'm just like, now that we going further in the story, I'm just like, okay, well that wasn't just like a matter of pure coincidence, because nothing in this story is. Nothing is coincidence.
Okay. Yeah, so we're on the same wavelength there. The only really other thing I really have to speak about, considering some of the most recent stuff, is just like Ananta himself. If you have any thoughts on him, or like, do you think he's gonna appear? Do you think we're just gonna talk about him a lot? Do you think we're gonna transition to Sagara at some point, and the rest of his clan? Like, I'm not sure what you're thinking about him, because that's the last thing I have written down here.
Wait, Ananta?
Yeah.
Oh,
the strongest.
I thought, honestly, like I said, from his first beginning thing, I thought his personality, look, everything was very interesting. Because Curry Gom loves her feminine boys, man. Because I'm just like, I'm like, who is that? Like, and I'm like, that's Ananta. Like, what are you talking about, man? I thought he's gonna be like this big skin. Like he's probably the only person in the story that I legitimately thought was gonna be like scary. Like, obviously, he probably could if he wanted to.
Yeah.
I'm just
probably
like,
certification farm, probably OD big and such like
Yeah. But I thought he was gonna. Yeah, I'm just run around. He just wearing like a shirt. You know, just like I was like, what is going on? I'm like, what is going on?
There was that one picture from him from the back when they're talking about it. He had some shit on his sleeves or his hand. I'm like, what is he wearing? But
yeah,
that first and that fit was goofy, probably. Yeah. So
and Sakura being in love with him, honestly, it's kind of scary. But I mean, we should have known for how the length she's willing to go to do all this.
Yeah.
But like, it really felt like her love for him, like, which is kind of crazy because she's had two other lovers since, but like her love for him was very yonderish. Like I'm just like I don't even know if you understand the man that you're chasing.
Yeah, I don't
Like
think she does. That's the crazy part. Because even
yeah,
with like when she had, was it who was she holding at one point? When we,
Ratalia or
yeah,
whatever.
Ratara, and he went yoinks. He just took her like yoinks, like
Yeah.
guy, like you don't know what's
Well,
going
my thing
on.
is like he acted like you
Give
can't
up
tell
on
like
me. He
you
said,
can't.
"Give up
Yeah,
on
yeah.
me." Listen, he said, "Give up on me." Go ahead.
Yeah, but even then, it's like he's looking at her. He asked her a question. She don't seem to understand. Like she's just trying to like she loves his strength, how strong he is, because clearly the strongest. She's in love with that, and I think he likes her to some degree. He's like, I think he's like, oh well, she means well and like she's beautiful, but like she don't get it.
Yeah,
like he is not any other Sura. Like, and we already see people who are not like Suras with the stories, but like
yeah.
he really is like his own being entirely. Yeah, he don't fit in with the Suras, the gods, because they're all either adore him or they're all scared of him. They scared of him because he's stronger
Strong
than the
shit.
gods. Yeah, and then the Suras they all look up to their power, but it's like he don't want to rule y'all that way. He's not somebody who wants to flex his might around and destroy things. Like, cause like from what I've seen, it like a lot of the stories they like to destroy. They kind of sadistic in nature, this, that, and the other. And but like
He
he
be
not
chilling.
bothered.
Man had a
Yeah.
lollipop in his pocket, like in his mouth.
Yeah, because you
Like,
could tell he like Arivata and Yashka, but that's because they're the closest to him. To be honest,
yeah.
they fit him the most. Cause like Yashka just run around humans. He just chilling. He just like yeah, cool, cool, cool.
And
He old.
yeah, and like hold on. Sagra loved him, but he didn't, and she had many lovers to make him jealous, but didn't care. That's literally that meme that I just seen the other day where it's like, you posted it. You posted it on Instagram. Like, I like you. Really? Nah, I don't. Okay. Like,
Yeah.
just go back to the game. Like, I totally get it. I truly understood Ananta was different when Brahma came to him to consult him about ancient human destruction. Okay. Well, do you find it interesting that they created a Nastica, like a Sura that's stronger than the fucking gods?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what the whole
Super weird,
way,
right? Like just
yeah, the
everything.
whole way that she even made this, and just like her even like I said, Brahma even asking them to even do this was already like insane itself. Did she have to ask? She didn't have to ask. I'm pretty sure Brahma don't have to ask nobody nothing.
Mhm.
She could have just been like, "Here's what y'all gonna do." Like she could have just ran up on them and be like, "Listen, y'all are gonna destroy the humans because I said so. You got a problem with it? Guess what? There's no other primordial guy here. I'm the only one you got to deal with." so like, but she didn't do that. So that's still, I guess that maybe that's still something to do with the future. It looks like she doesn't want to completely fuck with the flow of everything that's supposed to be happening, because even for them, even for the primordial god, maybe they don't have necessarily quote unquote rules constricting them, but even they are still, other than Callie herself, they're still trying to like follow certain guidelines. So even if she felt like maybe she's like, even if I destroy the ancient humans, they weren't gonna be part of the best possible future anyway, so fuck them.
Fair.
So
Fair.
yeah, I don't know.
He was friendly, reaction, right against sin. He gets lonely. Ananta is that strong. He could change the outcome, and then he gets tasked, or like I guess taxed could work, but I really meant like he gets the sin of being the sin of a bystander, or what was the other way they phrased it? I think one was called the sin of being a bystander, or the sin of like not doing
Yeah, the
anything,
sin of being a
or
bystander.
indifference, something like that.
Right. That's all his sins are being weighed against that, and he got a
Yeah.
lot of sins because of that.
Yeah, cause I guess because he's so goddamn powerful, like they said that he could like.
And he knows that. He knows him getting it.
But he chooses not to. Sin of indifference. There we go. Sin of indifference. He literally is the strongest. He could interfere. It's likely a balance of the universe thing. He has to exist in a form. That makes sense. Yeah, because like a lot of the times when it's very strange. Like I think my comic book knowledge and like history allows me to understand this stuff very easily, because in so many like versions of the Marvel universe and whatnot, they literally create beings that are that powerful as a part of this cosmic balance that has to happen, where if things that get destroyed, things must be created, but it must be 50-50. Like I said earlier with DC, you have the Lords of Chaos and you have the Lords of Order. And what's interesting about it is like you have like I would argue like Ananta is a being, could be like a being you could kind of compare to someone like Galactus. Galactus is not the strongest person, but Galactus is a planet eater. He's a world eater. Like that's bad. That's not good. But like no, he's there as part of the grand design of the universe. So God's working mysterious ways when they start making niggas like Ananta and stuff like that. Because like I try to think about him in that sense, but I do think it's a little unfair because he's so powerful and it could change so much that like he gets taxed with all these sins because he's indifferent or doesn't want to go do something. Because like he probably like doesn't see himself the way that everyone else sees him, right? Like you said, Tagara doesn't understand him probably. Thinks he's strong, but like, oh, you're just this fucking monstrous strong Sura, and he's probably just like, bro, I'm just trying to kick it and eat some candy. Like, he's not worried about all that. So I'm interested in him. I hope that we actually dive into his character a bit more, because he's not alive in the present time, right? Unless he comes back some later on, so that'll be cool. My theory is that the Prometheus want to create someone who could one day replace him. I think they are tired. Nah, bro, I gotta be top of the food chain. If I'm creating something, it could never surpass me. That's all. That's just me though. I'm not creating Skynet and robots that can destroy me or anything of the sort. But anywho, Vince, you still there?
Yes. Oh yeah, I'm here.
Right. Oh no, you're quiet for a bit. No, I'm saying I'm ready to transition away from the chapter discussion now. We can talk about whatever.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, this chapter though, it just kind of is a little bit different from everything else. We're just like. It really is so much going on for me right now. Like my head is like in the clouds, and like I'm legitimately gonna have to go through this arc probably like another 2 more.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this transition from Wheel of Time, from everything we just went through to this fiendish magic, and like I'm glad we're here, but also it's just like, damn, more stuff. More stuff for me to remember.
Yeah. This is a series. This is kind of why I like the series too. But this is a series where it's like. I know if I had some years, my knowledge would be touched up like the rest of y'all. But like, I need to do like this is a series that I plan on rereading every year. So
yeah, it really is.
I'm gonna do my reread in February because it's dense. It's full of it's chock full of information, and it's like one of those series that I absolutely could. I know for a fact when you read it with the foreknowledge that you have, it's gonna recontextualize so many earlier scenes. So I'm very excited for that. But was there anything particularly you want to talk about? Because remember we got cut short the other time. There was like a character or arc or anything, concept. Oh, hold on. You asked me a question. Did you get to answer the question with the Kubera thing? Did you ever find the answer to that? Because we were trying to find out, is he different because he kind of lost his name? Like, does every god or nature god or whatever have to have a summoner? Did someone summon?
Yeah. Ask that here. They probably know better.
Yeah. Does Kubera, the god of Earth, does he have a summoner? Just out of curiosity. It's weird how he would say he would destroy most of the universe, but Kali did, and the Vishnu 2 has the time domain. Yeah, and Ananta's loved by time. Because I was trying to, because Vince had asked me that, because I was thinking like Chandra and everyone else has a summoner, Agony, everyone else too, and I'm sure there's probably a way for gods to maybe somehow exist or at least temporarily come to like the human realm, if you will. And like just exist, but remember, Leech found the spell book of something in their childhood, so it is Leech then. So was I okay? I was right about that then. I was thinking it was Leech because of that one chapter, but for some reason I just wasn't sure.
Right. Okay, it wasn't clicking.
I wasn't sure. That was my best guess. First of all, she has the attribute anything, but I'm like, you're not like a priest or magician, so I'm like,
right. Well, also it got lost upon me because even though I did see that. It's because you see every god is so even the ones that are not like have the best relationship or really they stick to their summoners. Yeah. Like a lot. And he does stick to her to an extent. They're always kind of like around the same area.
He'll pop up here and there, but he's not there like that. And he whooped her. Remember? When he was in the armor and he beat her ass? So it's just
yeah. And plus they're always vigor up. You need and her place like all the time. Mm-hmm. So there was no way to like. So maybe that was tied to his strength, why he looks so weak sometimes. Like I don't know. Now that we said that, now it kind of like tries to step back for him. But
all right. I was like, I wanted at least now we have clarification, so now we know for sure. So now we're there.
Okay, yeah. It was just lost at the time. We just asked 'cause I was going through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But anywho, um, yeah, that's an arc that's a part that's gonna get reread too. But anywho, like one thing that I want to talk about, um, was the character of Claude, because I don't think me and you have spoken about him that much, and I'm kind of interested in your like thoughts and opinions on him, and even currently now that he's like what happened with him and stuff, because I think he's got a pretty interesting history. He's not one of the most interesting characters. He does have like that an interesting personality because he's kind of trolly, which I like about him. But what are your like general thoughts about him? You like him? You don't like him? Indifferent? Kind of like whatever. Claude.
Wait, who? Why I get lost? Kubera, right?
Huh? Claude.
Oh, Claude. Oh, yeah. See, now Claude is always the one that I still don't 100% know how I feel about him because I was still trying to figure out what his ultimate goal was, other than keeping Lila alive. But obviously, he was given some type of prophecy, and also the thing keeping Lila alive was that 100% something he wanted to do? Because now his memory's gone, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so like was that something 100% that he wanted to do, or is that something?
Refresh my memory. Is his memory gone, or did he lose the vision that he got, or what exactly happened?
Well, he lost the vision, but it kind of feels like parts of his like
Memory has
stuff that he did, yeah, was gone too. And I guess maybe that it involved it, maybe to some degree, because it's like I know he cared about because like during a flashback and when he met Brahma, it looks like I think that was Brahma that he met or whatever and stuff like that. They met, he was reviving his sister. He wanted his sister back alive, so we know he cared about his sister a lot, even though they have a weird relationship. Yeah, Brahma. Okay, thank you, comment section. Yeah, so we know he wanted to revive his sister. But was the Lila thing just for the vision? Does he actually love Lila? So I thought that was parts of it very interesting. Him as a character, he goes about his deeds kind of the most interesting because honestly, you could argue in some ways the way that like even though his sins and the stuff that he's doing is not any more wicked than what Asha or anybody else is doing. I feel like he went about it way in a somewhat more crooked way, like the stuff he did to Lee's and stuff like that, where he just he activated the death spell on him.
Like come on, dog.
Yeah,
what's up?
Because like at least when Ash is doing it, Ash is not giving you the jokey joke. Oh my bad, I accidentally activated the spell on you or anything like that. Like Ash did it with like full conviction and shit like that. She just knew how it would turn out.
She's like, I want your heart to stop beating.
yeah, right. She just know how it's gonna play. She's just like, she's gonna get revived by Kubera. Like, or she knows, or she just like, yeah, like I did this, but like somebody's gonna come and fix it. Yeah, like Claude was doing that, and you just moving very sick with it. So it's just kind of like in some ways it made me dislike him a little bit, but in some ways it was like it also made him kind of like in a lot of ways, honestly, he reminds me of like Loki, like the god of mischief.
Okay,
and shit like that. Like I'm like that's how he's moving. So it makes him I'm very lukewarm on him. He's not in my top 10, and he never probably will be. But I do like him as a character. When he has a different dynamic.
Yeah, me.
Even his design and all that plays into it.
You know me. I'm a priest and a priestess merchant, so I like them all.
No, I feel it though. They're all good characters. That's a product. Cause even what's his face?
I honestly don't like I have to rack my brain, but there's not a character that I really think Kurigam created as a bad character. If I'm being completely honest, like I'm not like them, like Lorraine or something, but even still, I don't think Lorraine's a bad character.
Yeah, because even the character, she and Richie or whatever. Even though I don't like them, she gave them moments. Like, especially Ruchi. Like now, like Ruchi was the one that summoned Vayu or whatever. Vayu. Yeah, and I'm just like, oh, she's the one. Because also the way she did it, also the way they did it. Cause it's like, oh, it's between two people. It's either gonna be Mira or Ruchi, and then it's like, oh, Mira died.
Mira, I like too, but she's in the lower end with like Sierra and thing. But I like her too. But I have an interesting question for the chat and you guys too. I think the chat probably give us some more insight because they know more at the time for now. For now, y'all enjoy this. I will be more knowledgeable than all of you soon. But do you think there is a way for Lise to be happy and we get the best possible universe, or it's one way or the other?
I think maybe at the end, maybe Kurigama is gonna give us, even though she put her through all this pain. I think she's gonna.
Do you think at the end she was like, all right, all this pain was worth it, or do you think she comes like, nah, this spare out. I'm drinking the fandom's tears, like, because that's kind of something I wrestle with a lot. Because to me, it all comes across as like it's either Asha or Lise. One of them wins, and whoever wins, the other one's like is either like lives a completely miserable, short, like life where no one cares to remember them, yada yada, or like whatever. Like I feel like one of I think to myself, like, is there a way, like, if we went to the second best possible timeline?
So here is my theory that is not concrete at all.
Maybe being right with Utah is possible. I don't know. Utah's someone that I think about a lot too. I'm like, damn, that boy just trapped in the Sororo. Go ahead.
So I have a vision where like maybe there's some like a history type rewrite where they get the happy ending where it's kind of like they get like a universal restart. It kind of that vision that Asha had where it was like she would go and be you know how they had the thing was like Rao brought Asha back and something like that, but I had it basically where it's just like she would go and she would like there would be some future where like Lise gets to like her parents and like she meets kind of like Asha and Yuta again at like some school or some shit like that. Like that'd be like some happy ending, so way to at it end. It's just like they all get like some reincarnation where they all meet again and instead they all friends instead of enemies and all this terrible stuff. So that's kind of how I see it. I think there will be a happy ending, but that's my guess.
See, I actually don't know if Kurigama's gonna do. I don't know because she just likes to torture, bro. I swear. Maybe be mad with Yuta. It's hard. She keeps reinforcing that the future for Lise is bleak. If Asha stole her future, could she steal her miserable future? It's kind of what I'm thinking. But in my head, it's like if Lise gets to be happy, the universe is not going to. It's not going to be the best possible timeline or universe or possibility. But if I guess if Asha wins and Lisa's life is miserable or whatever the case is,
maybe
I think
Asha,
she saves the universe, dies like kind of a death that no one really remembers, blah blah blah, and her life was just kind of miserable. So the friends, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm gonna say maybe Asha and Lise go hand to hand into extinction.
Oh, that's
by
true.
The end of the story.
Maybe they're two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, they go hand in hand into extinction. Like Asha, I guess maybe like she apologized at the end, and they both go together. We'll die together.
Is Asha winning bad? I'm not saying it's bad, but it's bad for. I think it's bad for Lise because if she stole Lise's future, I don't know if Asha's winning is bad for the universe. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure.
But every time I think about that, Asha winning, what does that mean? What does that entail? And like,
what does it look like?
Because Asha's whole thing is that they stole her future and she wants to be successful. But what does that mean? Does the universe still exist at that point? Because like obviously, like I feel like a little bit like if Lise wins, the universe exists. If Sakura wins with Ananta, the universe looks like it's gonna get destroyed. But what does Asha winning look like? She's the one. What does that mean? What does Asha winning like? Is it just humans left at that point? Like are the Suras destroyed? Is Lise gone? Is it just humans? Or like what does Asha's best possible future mean for the universe? Does that mean she just rules everything? Is she just like the Queen of Earth? Like what does that mean?
Did she destroy all beings superior to her, so every Sura and God are gone? I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was thinking. I'm just like, does she destroy like everything above her?
And what happens if you kill a god, like permanently like that? Like I know gods have their restrictions and whatnot, but what I mean by that is like, okay, so like, I guess I'll just use God of War. So I said the Kratos gimmick. If when Kratos like destroyed Apollo, the sun kind of got dark, right? When he destroyed I want to say Neptune. What's wrong with my brain? King of the sea, Poseidon. When he gets Poseidon, the ocean's level rise. Like with each death of one of the gods, the Greek mythology, whatever they kind of ruled over, it got wonky. So now life and death was skewed. Souls were flying out of the underworld and Elysium, or whatever the case is. So it's like, are gods absolutely necessary for the function and continuation of this earth? If we remove them, does life kind of just become like the way that we live today? Like I think about those kind of things sometimes too. Like what happens if they're not there no more? So I don't know what Ash's victory looks like. I'm not entirely sure. So too, she might become that raging Ananta. Oh, I think so. Asha's only thinking about herself. One last one. Hold on, the last god. I think it's hard to say what the prologue of season 3 looks like. She will disappear with her name, and Kubera and Elise currently has Anata's name, and the significance behind that is going to be interesting to see. Do you think that's going to play into this arc at all?
Yeah, it has to, right? It has to. There's no way. It's like the whole title of the learn she got the name. Oh, also, I forgot that Asha might be quote unquote tied in. Like it kind of implied that Asha might be tied in quote unquote to Brilith and Agni too. So what does that mean?
Hold on. Yeah, there are recent chapters of Brahma. If they go back to Paradise Universe to become buried and cease. Okay. So I guess they need them. I don't know. I'm on my Kratos gimmick. Anything stronger than me gotta go, bro. if it could do this and wipe me out of existence, it's gotta get stabbed. I don't want it around. Nothing greater than me could exist. You know. So with Asha's newest appearance, when we saw her looking the way that she looked or whatever, right? What's up, Golden Ace? Right. Me, I'm good, bro. I'm alright, man. My break was great, so I got the time to refresh, replenish. You know, I'm back. I'm reignited. I'm full of fuel, so to speak. But I'm good, bro. One Piece mid though. So does Asha have a part of Anata in her or something like that? Cause like I kind of remember the scene that I saw where she used that like her weird arm thing. She did like a weird attack, and her arm looks weird. I gotta look it up. I think I don't know if I dreamed that. I swear sometimes I'll be having fever dreams about shit, bro. Cause I won't lie to you. I'd be dreaming about Kubera. I'd be dreaming about it, son. I swear to God, I'll be dreaming about it. Something wrong with me. Asha is one of the most interesting characters in fictional history, in my opinion. Like across any medium that I've ever seen. I gotta look something up. She stole a lot of Kubera's Anata's power. Oh, okay. So I thought I knew it was a tripping. I remember her having something related to him. And I wonder what the significance of that is. If she has a piece of that, but also Lise has the name, is that significant? Is that going to tie in? Probably. So. Let me see.
I think Kubera power and Ananta power mixed. That's why she has that arm.
Kubera power mixed. Okay, that makes sense. She used the spell to revive Tio. Suggested that she's hot in Vishnu 3 times to make her forget witnessing a pair of murder shortly before Ash's first appearance. Is 18, not 21. The execution of the trial revealed to Sahar. Blah blah blah. I guess this won't tell me here. I don't think they got the answer. Sway. Is the Kubera wiki good? By the way, just out of curiosity, for anybody who's here, do you guys use the wiki at all? Is it good? Is it trustworthy?
I've been on it now that I finished. I think it's like it's okay. Mm-hmm. I think it does the job. I think they're not completely caught up to everything from what I've seen, everything that happened. But it's interesting.
Because the TOG one's not bad at all. So I'm just looking for something specific. Give me 1 second, people. I'm going through her entire history. Hey, give me the answers. Give me the answers. It's all right. It's good for the afterward and Kurigan's blog comments. Oh yeah, there's that too. I gotta look at that. So
yeah, as far as season 3 content, I don't way like caught up to like everything.
God damn it. Yeah, they're not really telling me stuff about season 3. Asha, that's my problem. I don't know. I tried. Cause it's not. They don't have an inner skills and ability section. They don't have it there. I'll go reread that. It's fine. I'll go reread it at some point. You are right. Remember, there was a Nata beside her in that room. Okay, it's alright. It's not crazy. I think Kubera Power. It's alright. It's good afterward. It's okay. Okay. All right. I just want to know if it's. I just want to know if it's like, should I just not bother? Because there's certain wikis for certain series. But sometimes I just want to quickly check something. It's not necessarily that I'm depending on it for my. Oh, thank you. You see, my guy said season 1, season 3, 171. Let me just pull it up. Let's just pull it up. It said season 1. Can I read, bro? Cause I don't know if you recall that part, Vince. What I'm talking about. Cause I remember them saying something like, she has something related to that, man. You said what? 171. It's crazy. This is like 200 chapters into season 3. It's far. Kubera out here, man, putting in that work. Okay, wait a time. I found it. I'm gonna put it on the screen briefly. I think you guys should be able to see. Actually, they might not be able to see this. Oh yeah, oh nah, this is not gonna work. Yeah, fuck it. Oh no, that's I'm stupid. This is my bro, what? We're getting serious. Anyways, how dare you? Oh yes, this is in the okay. Yes, this is when they were in that floating thingy. Okay, and Ran and Thing are fighting. Let me see here now. I can't guarantee that it'll be a better place than here though. Wait, you said 171, right? You will see Ananta beside her. Oh shit.
Oh, I must have missed that.
Yeah.
I was looking at a lot of that shit.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right. I'm trying to find the part.
I also wonder. I'm pretty sure she did, but it's like Sakura was looking at all the text and all the stuff of the records. I'm pretty sure Asha was doing that too while they were there in that space.
Mm-hmm.
I also wonder if did they ever, because like it's very interesting to me that Maruna and Sakura seem to know about Asha like beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
So like, were they tracking her down? They knew about her the entire time. I always think they talking crazy about Asha too. Like they could have got rid of her at any time. I said I don't think it would have been as easy as they think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Like they not careful, they would have got smoked. Like, but like how Maruna talks about like back at the village, like he was trying to get maybe attempting to get Asha instead of Lee, but Lee jumped in the way,
Mm-hmm.
and that messed him up. And like Sakura was just like, oh, that magician, like we need to get rid of her, like this, that, and I'm just like, I don't know, that's gonna be easy as y'all think it is. I feel like y'all gonna get smoked. like honestly, genuinely believe that like she might smoke y'all.
Mm-hmm.
She just
she
she just
just
knew the time wasn't right.
y'all just not okay. So where, bro? Because I'm not seeing. When she says "see you in N23" right after that, okay. So that's the right here. If you see you again in N23 Future 5, I hope you'll see things a little bit differently then. This is so faded though. That's Ran. Is that him right there? Here, I guess this is him, right? Or that her? Like I can't even tell, bro. Cause it's so faded. See right there to her right.
Mm.
Well, there you go. Do you remember the chapter number? Can you just help me above? Okay, I got you. Can you do me a favor? Do you remember the chapter number where we see Asha come in with the arm, like the weird looking arm? You remember what chapter that is? And give me a second. I'm just gonna pee real quick. Gotta pee. Vince, you're in charge.
All right, howdy, party people. It's the Vince Kubera stream now. So first order of business, you will all be converted to Ashaism. So that's number one. You're all Asha stands now. And whether you want to or not, I really don't care. That's number one. All right. Number two, order of business. God to Harvard, yeah, we don't mess with that guy no more. Get him out of here. No more of that, bruh. Yes, sir. Yeah, Asha stands for life. You're locked in to a life contract. That's number one. You always remember that. You love her and hate her. That's that. That's fine as long as you love her. At the end of the day, love is stronger than hate. Your love for Asha will overcome. Also, we're not gonna be enlightened because enlightenment, y'all gonna lose y'all empathy and all y'all feelings. You know what I'm saying? We're not taking the road to enlightenment. No enlightened beings here. And another thing, we not learned in fiendish magic, man. Sorry. It would have been cool, would have been badass. Nah, too much at stake there.
Yeah, I would have never caught that, bro. That's so light. I would have never caught that. I can barely
That's
tell.
crazy.
The same looking panel because it's the one and he disappeared in the next panel. We Asha stands for life. See now, loving to hate her. It's clear on Babel Kim's scans. Yeah, I don't know why I went here because I read the Weight of Time. I'm pretty sure. Didn't I read most of that on Mori Mo? Anyways, like I should have just went here. You're probably right. Because they actually think there's whoever the cleaners are for this, whatever. I actually think they the pictures are like of a higher quality here. If I'm being completely honest. Wait, can you guys see this? The hell?
Yeah, I can see it now. Yeah.
Did it change? Oh, I'm just okay. I'm just lagging a little bit. Episode gaze. Okay, so we'll be Weight of Time. It's at 171. Okay. Shing boom. Crackle. Blah 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 bloobity babbity boobity boobity babbity boo. Stop it, Asha. Your body is also disintegrating right now. Let me see. Ugh. Catch each other again. Bro, are you sure that's clear? don't. Okay, actually, I don't know. I can't make it. I would have never in a million years caught that if no one told me this was here. No,
I guess I didn't.
no, it's a little better, I guess. Okay.
Look at her summoning him like a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
We should
Like
stop
he the
there.
ring, like he the ring dragon of Raw.
I think it's mentioned too when he disintegrates on his arm. It's right there. You see it? Okay. Well, I believe y'all. I don't think y'all will trick me. Not in this case. Kubera too important. I don't think y'all will trick me, dog. Yeah, feel me. Okay, let me get rid of this. Well, yeah. Shout out to Asha. I think for some reason there's a part of me that thinks because of that, like almost in a way, whoever can kind of like understand or like I guess again Ananta's power on their side, they might be the victor, but we'll see. Like that might be my headcanon because
See, the thing is, wasn't Asha's chance for victory
already
gone?
taken.
Yeah.
Now
So
she just wants to just make sure no one else wins, right?
Yeah. I'm like,
That's
because
a good
her
point.
thing was, her whole goal was
she was supposed to destroy before he got resurrected.
Yeah, and one mistake she was not supposed to make was to make sure that Lorraine didn't live, and she did. So
Yeah. So I wonder if she found a new way from reading the records or something. And also, I always get interested in the standpoint that they said there's some people who believe they're players, but they're not players.
you're not
Who are
even
they
you're
referring
not
to?
even in the game. Y'all think
Yeah.
y'all
Who are you
y'all not even
referring
on the bench. Y'all in the bleachers. Y'all not even in the game, bro. Like, yeah.
Yeah, y'all playing imagination. Y'all wish y'all was number 7 out there, all star, but y'all not.
Yeah, they're not ready. But okay, now I think there was one more thing I want to specifically talk to you about, but it's not coming to me. It was about a character. I stink. My brain is awful. Can't remember nothing. But yeah, we'll see what happens with Asha and Lee's and see who wins. Has it been weird to you to not see her for so long though? Even though we briefly saw her at the end of the other thingy. Not the other thingy. Was it Enemy? Shit, what arc was that? When Yuta was like, if you appear every time that I fade away, like every version of me was happy, blah blah blah. But How do you think? Isn't it weird to like not have your main character, I guess so to speak, be in the forefront for this long? Like this is honestly a long time. And I know the comment section of Webtoon is where's Lee's every goddamn week, but it's like if you've been reading this for years in real time, you have not seen her for like 3 years, bro. Like I think it's an interesting storytelling choice. Wait, hold on,
Yeah,
sorry.
she says she got her motion.
Wait, do you think Usha shared her name with Maruna? That is just my theory.
Can you do that? I mean, if you can, maybe so.
Is that why he could use the Crimson Sunshine of Dawn? Or was that already the trend that they were tweaking about? I'm not trying to remember now. I don't know. That's a good theory. How could you do that though? I thought gods are one with the name and soul. Could kind of like Kubera, who was Lee's again. Well, Lee's doesn't Kubera, the god of Earth, technically like not have his name? Like, how did that happen? I forgot. Think he's special since his name got shattered. Is that what happened? Damn, that's how you know. That's how I need to revisit, especially season 1 and 2 stuff, like early season 2 stuff. Like I think Frozen Tears and Beyond for the most part, especially like Crime and Punch and Beyond. I remember most things, but I definitely know for like season 1 up until that point, I definitely need like a proper refresher because I'm gonna take notes when I'm doing it this time too. Last time I took screenshots and they helped, but this time I'll take notes. But this time I'm also gonna read Babo Kim's from start to finish. So I'll have a consistent like samey translation instead of going from line webtoon to Bible Kim at some point. You need to go into the blogs too. There's so much that hurts my head. Actually, I have a good amount of the blog posts because the very top comment on line webtoons was somebody always talking about Kurigom's comment. I actually read them every time when I was reading online. Line webtoon. So I actually now do I remember everything? No, but I did read them for the most part. So you tried to steal Nata's name, similar to how Kinara did to OG Arivata. It never clearly stated, but likely him taking Nata's name shattered it. Ah, okay. So it's one of those things where it's implicit. It's not explicitly stated, but it's implied if you're paying attention to a certain degree. Okay, so I gotta open my mind. But like I probably wasn't as attentive as I should have been from start to finish until the Tio death, and then I was moving differently in this story. So, you think Tio is gonna continue to play a significant role, or do you think that Kaz is gonna replace her at some point as a priestess of chaos? Do you ever?
I really think Cass is gonna replace her at some point. Otherwise, why she go through all that?
Did we talk about their conversation on screen? In the last podcast.
No, we talked about some of the stuff that happened. Like when you told me like that's the whole reason that I should like revived her, and I'm like that's insane. That's a crazy level. But no, we didn't talk about it.
Oh, that's a really good point, PK. I didn't think about that. That's a good point actually. Tio's probable main thematic role right now is to help Ganhavra change into like whatever version we need him to be for the best possible universe. Keep Gandhi away from her. On God, Kinara suffers from is a powerful dual name. Okay, that makes sense too. No, because I was what did I just ask you? Oh,
you were asking about the cast and Tio thing.
Yeah. No, I just meant too. Like, did we talk about the leads and casting on screen? I know we talked about it by ourselves. We talked about it on screen. I don't remember. Cause I think me and you both were like. Have a pretty interesting comments on it because we were waiting for so long. Like that's a moment that we were like waiting for a long time. Like, yo, Kaz is alive. Kaz and Lisa finally met, and that conversation was really weird. Like, Kaz is like, damn, like it's better if you're dead type beat, and Lee's kind of just seemed like it is what it is. Like, so many years have gone by, it is what it is. But like, I really like that moment though. Like, I don't know if you're indifferent. Did you like that? Like, what did you feel when they first finally met after all those years? Liz is taller than him, by the way. Shout. I don't know how tall she is, but she's taller than Kaz. She's a little taller than him. Hello? Vince!
Yeah, I got lost.
I asked you a question.
I checked out. Repeat some of that.
Your like your general opinion and thoughts when Lee's and Kaz finally meet after all those years.
No, I always said that shit was extra weird. But like, yeah, so I was talking. I think it was you I was talking to.
Yeah.
They were kind of like, it might have been better if they were both kind of thinking at the same time. It'd be better if the other one died, so they wouldn't be feeling like the conflicting emotions that they're going through,
Mhm.
because it was just like they both already thought they were gone. Cause I was like, yeah, they meet each other. I don't think it's gonna be a big happy embrace, this, that, and the other, and they just like, that's Cass, and that leaves, and they just avoid talking to each other. I'm like, that's crazy. I really thought something was gonna happen, and nothing happened for that. Yeah, I thought that was crazy. But also, like I said, I still think about the part how Lorraine's thing said nobody in her village died. It said 0.
Mhm.
Where they at?
That's true. I forgot about that. What the fuck? Yeah, like nobody in that village episode. Like, yeah, that is true. Like, what happened? I forgot about that
Right.
actually. You totally reminded me that was said. I totally forgot.
Yeah, but that also brought me back to the concept of the souls. That's why I thought the concept of souls changed the game when she introduced that whole line, that whole theory of thinking and stuff.
The
like that.
soul revival hot and Vishnu is not the same as
Yeah.
the okay, yeah, that was crazy. That
Yeah,
was
and
such that was one of the biggest like mic drop. I said, yo,
Well, because now I'm thinking, is her family souls like floating in space? Did their physical bodies get moved to another area, or they reincarnated? Because we got stuff with the ancient humans too. They remember their past lives. If they're not dead, where are they? Also, now that we got Dawn, we learned that Maruna stuff did his transcendental or whatever he used on them. Did that have something to do with what's going on?
Mhm.
Like, is it not moved to like actually destroy? Did he just move them to a different place in time? What did he do? What did he actually do to them? Because because like what he could have did was, or like or just like, or you got the whole see somebody's kind of going
the village being an illusion.
because I was going with because the lead show tricks herself
Mhm.
with that thing, and also
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But then again, if that's the case, though, how did Kaz exist? Is Kaz real? What's going on with that?
Or was Kaz and the mom only real? I guess it depends on
Yeah.
what you think. Do you think Kaz knew Lee's mother was already dead? I'm not sure. Actually, I'm literally gonna lie to you. I have no idea. The theory is that the village was an illusion and they're already dead. Okay, Maruna, when he will fight Astra, will mention to Astra he knew someone who took on a name they couldn't hold. That must have been Kanara, and that Astra as well. Okay. Nah, I'm so happy you reminded me of that's crazy. I forgot about that. Like no one was killed, but that moment to me reminds me of like, KKK. So you know how sometimes people are like, oh, I love when this subverts like expectations and we subvert whatever the genre, we turning on its head or whatever. Like this is, to me, was like one of those few moments that happened. Like the only other time I can remember like a meeting of two characters crescendoing into this big conflict and I was rubbing my hands and it just fizzled into like nothingness was, so I guess Monogatari spoilers if you're not, what I'm saying. And these say Monogatari, right? Because of some certain things that happened, Koyomi has beef with this character named Kaiki. And when Kaiki and him are finally gonna talk and meet, Kaiki just like, I'm gonna just leave, bro. Bye. Like, dead ass. He's like, do you think we're gonna have some big climatic shonen showdown? Blah blah blah. You don't want me in town? Listen, I made my money. I'ma just leave. And he cut, bro. That was it. There was no fight. There was no like extremely long extended dialogue. The bro just cut. So like this like, oh my god, Kaz and Lee's met, and they're both like have obviously gone through their own personal journeys through the course of that time, and they're not the same people no more, and they're both like the conversation was really weird, but I really liked it because it's completely subverted that moment on its head because that's not at all what I expect. I would gather most fans expected to happen in that moment. I think it'll play out fully when we fully understand like Kaz's motivations and what he's about, and we'll understand the true meaning behind it. So it might make sense in hindsight, but it's interesting to think about. Was an illusion of where they all revive with Zero Souls. I don't know. And the village illusions a theory because no human died there. Oh, human. The theory I hear is that Maruna's sister Calva or something attacked the village and Lee summoned Kubera. That's why is hate Garuda Sura that hurt pain. Okay. I'm gonna have to. When you guys are like talking about theories and stuff, like where are you guys at? Are you on a server? Are you on Reddit? Like where are you guys at? Like just out of curiosity, because I think this is a community where I want to be a part of these conversations. Like if there's theories and discussions and talking on Reddit stuff, I'll look. I don't like Reddit for anything, but if it's like a good community in Kubera, I'd peep. We're at your server. You know what? Fair enough. I need to open my Discord up more often. I really don't. I post and I go. But anyways, you got anything to say, Vince? Any final words? Wrap this up.
Nah, not at this time. There's a whole bunch of things I want. Still want to know.
We're gonna focus on some discussions later on.
Yeah. Want to know what Ash's path to victory looks like. Obviously. What else do I want to know? I think what else in the story do I still want to know at this juncture?
There's a lot of mysteries.
Oh, does Ash really hold the soul of Lilith and Agni's kid? And what does that have to do? Is it like she actually is the reincarnated child, or is she just holding the soul of the reincarnated child? Because that's a difference, obviously. Yeah. We all know about souls. We still haven't gotten Idra in the present story time. What is that gonna look? We've seen them all in the past. We haven't seen the last primordial god yet. We still don't know if Yama is gonna be summoned on Earth and what that looks like. There is a lot.
There's a lot to look forward to.
Yeah.
There's a lot to look forward to. I think Kaz is gonna become the priest of chaos soon.
Will he be the one that? I wonder if he'll be the one that ends up summoning Yama.
No, isn't with Kaz?
Yeah.
What's their god?
There's a god of chaos, so there should be a.
Is this Kali? Yo,
yeah.
If he summons Kali, I don't think he can. Can you summon a primordial god? Is that
no, I don't think he got to summon. Oh, also the whole thing with Garuda. Oh, so now that you brought that up, thank you for bringing that up. Kali and Garuda. She had a child with Garuda. What's going on with that? There's obviously a reason she canceled out the love thing, and we still don't know why Garuda is in a coma.
The last Primordial won't be in the story. Kurt confirmed that. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Was he not? That's kind of sad.
I guess he's Phantom in him.
Yeah. He just run around the story, didn't actually exist.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Well then, yeah. Whatever. I don't need him.
They said Shiva won't appear directly, so be mentioned. What is it? Not in the story. Like as long as they're mentioned, so that's fine. It is what it is. It'd be like that. Maybe she tricked y'all. I don't know. Will she trick y'all? Will she change her mind? Well, we see that. So, sorry. You could grab a Garuda and Kali, yeah. Very interesting stuff. And you know what? I also want to come full circle too with the Jatayu, the girl with Jatayu and stuff and everything. There's so many things because Yuta still has a lot of his character and stuff to be explored. Does he truly love her? Is it really his nature and stuff like that? Like what's the truth behind that? So there's a lot. But I still think this stories are probably about 70% completed.
Yeah, I also
minimum 65%. I would say.
Also, once my girl Ashura, where's Shura at? Shura, come back, please. We need you. You just disappeared.
But all right. I'll be back on Saturday with a stream for y'all. Actually, me and Vince will be there. Me and Vince are gonna we're gonna be talking about we'll go through a list of our favorite 20 webtoons with an honorable mention. So you guys are going to be there for that. Stay tuned. And let me just read this before I go. There's an interesting theory about Kali and Yuta and Raltara. Most likely that Kali took the name of Garuda's second strongest, who was Raltara's mother, and had a child with Garuda, and that is Yuta, which is why when Raltara saw Yuta, she got a familiar feeling. Because
to me, it'd be more interesting. That's why their names disappeared, because Raltara was saying that her and her siblings were being like basically exited out, and they got chaos attributes. Well, she got chaos. I don't know if all of them do, but she got a chaos attribute, and it's just like she's saying her and her siblings' names were disappeared. Like nobody remembered them. So
that's an interesting theory. I'll definitely make sure to peer my head into the comments in my Discord way more often, because part of the reason why I don't sometimes is sometimes I might be a chapter behind, because you guys are like usually on the ball quickly, right? Because you can just read it whatever. But remember, because I have to live react to it, even if I know the chapter's out, but I'm like on the road, I can't read it yet. So, but I'm gonna definitely peer my head anymore. But you guys be safe. I'm gonna head out and we'll be back on Saturday. Yeah.
Yo.